I think the first thing that we wanted to talk about was this, I guess, protesting and shit that the squad was doing. So I think this
The
happened yesterday, right? Was it
squad.
yesterday or the day before? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I think.
I think it was
So
yesterday. I remember seeing it yesterday.
yeah, exactly. So basically, I mean, basically, AOC pretended to get arrested, and she was obviously protesting the whole like Roe v. Wade thing, and she also had the nerve to fucking like campaign off of it too, which is not that surprising. But I mean, it's kind of annoying how like these Democrats are so obsessed with campaigning to get more of a majority in the House when you already have majority in the House. So I mean, I don't know what they're. I don't know. As usual, it's the typical fucking politician-y bullshit. That they have to get, they have to do, and they can't resist themselves from doing. To be fair, though, I did hear about some news about how I think the House and the House towards an amendment for codifying Roe v. Wade and also gay marriage through law instead of relying on fucking Supreme Court type shit. So that's something, but I mean they could have done that like months ago. They could have done that 3 months ago, especially when it came to Roe v. Wade. So I don't know
I'm
what your take is on
surprised
that.
gay marriage wasn't codified into law, but
Yeah, right.
I feel like a lot of this is just 3D, 4D chess type of
Oh
shit.
yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, let's be real here. Like it's 2022. We're
Mm-hmm.
still arguing about shit from the 70s. Like really? Like what
Mm-hmm.
are we doing here? What the
Yeah.
fuck are we doing, man? What
Mm-hmm.
are we doing now?
It's
Come
all
on, man.
theatric
It's
bullshit.
got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how we're still having these same goofy arguments, bro. I just don't
Yeah.
understand it. Like, we should be way past this garbage, but here we are, 2022, still arguing about 40, 50-year laws and shit. Because people want to hold on to, like, ancient concepts that don't
Mm.
apply to modern day. I mean, I don't know. And then the posturing for, look, I mean, I guess I can't say that I'm against Democrats protesting,
Yeah, that's fine.
but at the same time, we know how they get down. Like they like to do things for show. They like to posture, take advantage of, you know, these kind of controversial decisions to help
Yeah.
boost the morale of their followers and get them excited. Calls to action. Call to action is what they call it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like, oh, look at those evil Republicans over there trying to do this. So we need your help. Sign our petition. Call, contact your local state rep, and blah 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 blah. Give us money.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what they always do, bro. It's nothing new, but I just can't believe that they actually think like people fall for it and like think it's like oh this is why we care so much and this is why we this is the way we show we care. Um so this is a picture right here. Can you see this? I think you can see
Yeah,
this. Oh yeah. So this is a picture of AOC being whatever supposedly
escorted.
arrested, escorted, not even arrested, and she puts her hands behind her back pretending to be handcuffed and then but I think she had a response to it apparently. I didn't read it, but I think the reason that I heard people were giving for why she was doing that, she was portraying herself as like being like restrained essentially. She was like, "Oh, I'm in a position of like being powerless or something." Like it's like supposedly like a way that you show you don't have like I have no power. I'm being taken over by the man basically, or I'm being controlled by the man. And yeah, some bullshit excuse anyway. So this is her fundraising thing. Alexandria was just arrested by Capitol Hill police outside the Supreme Court during an abortion rights protest, abortion rights demonstration, and then she has to underline rush a $3 contribution to abortion access groups right now to show Congress we stand with AOC and we won't back down. I mean, is that contribution to Planned Parenthood? I'd be very surprised.
Abortion access groups. That
Groups, yeah,
means give that money to some super PAC of some sort.
yeah,
So, or probably Act Blue. Wouldn't
hmm,
be surprised if it was Act Blue because Democracy
yeah,
for Congress.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly. They're
We
too
know
they're
how
too
this
dangerous.
game goes, man. It's
I
all
know
campaign. It's all campaign dollars.
exactly,
It's not going to actual legislation. Your
exactly.
dollars are not going to pay for any actual legislation. Get it through your fucking heads. Unless you have millions of dollars, billions of dollars that you can put in these fools' pockets right now,
Yeah,
then you can kiss whatever legislation you like goodbye because you're not going to see it happen.
yeah. So this is the video of her. So this is I think yeah, we don't need the music sound. Okay, but this is her being so-called escorted or whatever, arrested. See, look, she even gives it away by putting her hand up. Okay, very nice. So yeah, as usual, she's all. See, this is the thing with AOC that I can't stand. She's all about the fucking theatrics. She loves like making a big deal out of like her, her her struggle essentially, like her, oh, look what I'm going through, and then let me like parade it out there as some sort of like, me standing up for the people basically, which is obviously bullshit. So um by the way, there was another situation that happened where she apparently was like, so she was like going up the Capitol Hill steps, and then some guy like was, I think he's like a right wing comedian or something, and he was like, okay, you know what? Let me just show it to you. I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, I thought it was funny for a different reason. I'll just give you, I'll tell you why later. But yeah, hold on. So
All right, all right.
I thought that was a interesting little thing, but let me see here. Shit, should I go here? Yeah, probably. Uh, 1 second, folks. Let me just sign on to my other account.
Your burner account.
My burner account. Yeah, I have a burner account like KD.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this dude, apparently, I don't know what the fuck his name is, but anyway, she posted that. She even posted the fucking video too. So she like promoted it, and then she went on Instagram, and she said, "Oh my god, this is really racist, and this is really sexist, and blah blah blah." Okay, so hold on. Here it is. So this guy, I don't even know what his name is. Anyway,
I just see what he has on the video, bro.
yeah. Okay, here. No, the
Really?
actual video is actually fucking funnier. Watch.
See, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale. See, my
Anyway, so yeah, obviously a very annoying guy, but the problem was that her response afterwards was like, oh, it's what a sexist and a racist and a blah 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 and a fucking, this person is really really mean and they shouldn't be doing this. So I mean, she could have easily embraced it and just been like, yeah, I got a big booty, I'm a Latina, that's how we roll, what's the big deal? But
I
she
mean,
just
it's
had to
not
like,
really, not really.
not really what. No,
It's
tell
not.
it.
It's not. She ain't got like that. Like
I know, but it's actually, you know what? I mean, I don't know. We'll probably get hit with some racist or not some sexist, sexist shit here. But I think she's pretty good for a girl, her size. What is she like? She's probably doing some squats in the gym or something, and she's doing squats for that booty, basically. So, I mean, I can't hate on that for a girl that's like her kind of petite, skinny, mini look. I think she's pretty good for that, considering all that. The physical attributes that she has. So I don't think that's, it's not too bad. But either
every
way, bro,
aspect,
still embrace it.
every aspect of this is ridiculous, man. From the guy's
Yeah.
candor to his stance. Oh, you're killing babies. Oh, you're killing babies. Like,
Right.
I mean, I'm still trying to understand why these people have this stance. Like, they don't care about killing actual babies.
Yep.
But they're just so anti-abortion, you know, like
Yeah.
it would be one thing if they were like, no, we want to ensure that children have the best kind of quality life, quality parents, quality living, quality conditions. But they don't give a shit. So, as I and a lot of other people say, these people are not pro life, they're just pro birth.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're born, they don't give a shit how
Yeah.
you live.
I was gonna say.
They don't care if you have abusive parents, if you grow up poor, if you grow up indigent, if you grow up in with some kind of deformity, you can't get, you know, public aid, you can only get so much public aid. Like we could go down the
Yep.
line.
Yep.
At the end of the day, fuck you unless you're rich. That's it. And they
Yep.
use all this propaganda to purport their nonsense. And I'm sure you've seen. I guess we could talk about this a little later, but I'm sure you heard about the story about the girl in Indiana.
10-year-old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, just the fact that like this girl apparently was assaulted by some weirdo,
Mhm.
and like right wingers are like, no, she should still give birth.
Yeah.
And it's just like, really?
That's
Like,
terrible.
y'all are
Yeah.
just this insensitive, huh?
Yeah. That's the way they are. Fortunately.
And not for the baby's sake. Because if the girl, let's say we take it to the logical conclusion, she gives birth at
Yep.
10 years old. So she's a mom at 10. Now, I don't know what her support system's looking like. I don't know
Exactly.
if, I mean, who knows? Maybe a situation like this, she could get a whole lot of supporters on Patreon. But we can't expect this for every single case. I mean, if we could, that would be awesome. But this is the real world. And ultimately, we should be trying to help, I don't know, prevent these situations from occurring in the first place. But it's not going to happen if we don't teach proper sex education,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't have proper contraception in place, if we purport abstinence only bullshit that don't work. It don't work. It will never work. It can't work. It can't. I know you Christians out there. Yes, well, I'm calling you out, you Christians, some of you
Yeah.
Muslims, but mostly Christians because this is a overwhelmingly majority Christian country. You Christians are wrong. Sorry, your position is incorrect. Even your own Bible is pro-abortion.
Yep.
Your own Bible.
We've talked about that.
And I'm gonna talk about it until we can't no more. Until they say Establishment Exiles gotta get kicked off of YouTube. I'm gonna keep talking about this shit. You Christians are wronged. You can't even demonstrate the basic tenets of your ridiculous worldview, let alone anything concerning how abstinence only works. It doesn't. It won't. It never will. In theory, in hypothetically, it can work. But it won't because people are people.
Yep. All horny motherfuckers.
Yes. I
Mhm.
mean, it drives us probably almost as much as our desire to eat and drink and stay satiated. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I agree with that. But I mean, you can go on these kind of rants. I mean, I'm so sick of like dealing with those kind of people because they don't even want to listen. Like
They
I think it was
don't.
I was reading something somewhere. Somebody was saying something. They were like, bro, if you focus on like if you go and have a debate with somebody and you even like bother with the issues of either abortion or gun rights, people just go like people on that. So if you're like a whatever liberal left wing whatever, and you argue with people on the right wing about that issue, like it goes nowhere. Like the
Dude.
debate is like literally over 5 seconds in.
Yeah. Dude, I've like during canvassing, like so for the record, to our new viewers out there, I've done all types of canvassing, phone banking, whatever, for a bill that was passed here in Illinois called SJR 42, which is aimed at removing the influence of money on our political system. But anyway, so I would campaign for different politicians who had endorsed our bill, and so I would go to their constituencies or to their wherever they were neighborhoods they were running in, and we just go door to door and talk to people. If we met somebody who was right wing,
Hmm.
doesn't matter if the candidate was pro choice or if they supported a property tax increase or something like that, the conversation was over.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter what the candidate supports. Doesn't matter if this candidate's like, hey, elections are unfair. Let's make it more fair. This candidate actually wants a more fair election. Okay, cool. Do they support abortion? Yes. Well, then no. Get off my property. And
Yeah,
there's
it's a
nothing else to
waste.
talk about.
It's a waste of time a lot of times, unfortunately.
It is
I mean,
because
but I'm obviously we should keep trying, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
people
It's
make
tough
up
to
their
it's
mind.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think when it comes to dealing with like being left wingers and dealing with right wingers in these kind of situations, is to find as much common ground as possible. And you should talk about issues that aren't like my opinion, they're like these like instead of focusing on these like wedge issues, what is referred to as wedge issues, like wedge topics, like gun rights, like abortion, all that stuff. Um, Gay marriage is another one, I think. Like I just don't think I don't think it's gonna really get anywhere unless you cloak it in a way that's gonna relate to them, or you can find some sort of middle ground if you really want to. But I mean, I don't want a middle ground on that stuff. So, well, I definitely don't want a middle ground on abortion. So
Well,
that's
that's
just
the
me.
thing. Like a lot of these issues, there is no middle ground.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So,
know, like you can either and see that's one of the reasons why personally I can't speak for everybody, but for me, that's why I talk about issues of religion because religion influences so many people
yeah.
and it informs their views, their way of thinking, the way of living, their way of acting, their actions. And so if you don't attack these things at the core, at the root, then it's impossible to attack the issue. Because as long as somebody says, well, my God said this and my God said that, and I believe this and I believe that, I'm not going to get anywhere. So for a lot of people, I feel like I have to attack, well, why do you think like this? Oh, because you believe some goofy ass dumb shit from 2,000
Mhm.
years ago? And you still are clinging on to it, even though it demonstrably is wrong in so many ways, to the point where you have to create an echo chamber for your position because you know that you cannot withstand scrutiny. That's why people always try to say, don't talk politics, don't talk religion, because
Hmm.
we're at a time now where we have data and facts available, logic available. I can literally point out the errors in your logic and your
Yep.
argumentation and display them to you, explain them to you. Oh, that's this fallacy, the ad hominem fallacy. That's a red herring. That's a two
Mhm.
cocaine, whatever the fuck. Just because we're in this time now, there's no excuse for ignorance anymore. You can't just cling on to something and say, I believe it because I want to believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because okay, that's cool. You want to believe it, but you have to acknowledge that what you believe is some bullshit. All right. Can we at least agree to that? That what you believe is bullshit because you can't
Uh,
demonstrate it to be true?
I don't think
Oh
they're gonna
no,
agree to that. So
no, they're not. They're not. But it's like the point is, if you can't demonstrate what you believe to be true, what else are we gonna go with? Oh, I'm just gonna accept what you believe because you want to believe it, even though there's no evidence. I mean, not a single shred of evidence
Yep.
that bolsters your view or bolsters your point. We gotta stop with the goofy shit, man. We're in a time now where too many people are in power who believe this type of dumb shit and use the shit to legislate over the rest of us. And it clearly does not fucking work. As the
yeah,
great Lauryn Hill said,
Lauren Hill.
it ain't working. It ain't working. So let's
Yeah,
actually assess the shit objectively, using rationality and sound judgment, and not just I want to believe fairy tales, because that shit don't work.